Real observations, real stories, here to keep the hard drive that is your brain updated. This is The Crunch with me, Shem Muikia. Today on The Crunch, we take a look at the growth of technology in Kenya. Kenya has almost become synonymous with African technology, even being referred to sometimes as the Silicon Savannah. According to a 2015 economic survey, the ICT sector was worth 138 billion shillings by the end of that year.
Technology plays a big role in our everyday lives. We can now send money on our phones and even pay bills online. Mobile phone usage is ever growing in Kenya, and with an increase in technology and app developing companies comes some problems. How does one attract the market? Where are the clients coming from? With dozens of applications and software out there, it is becoming increasingly difficult to stand out, create something new. This, along with the fact that some people remain resistant to change, poses a challenge for young tech entrepreneurs.
Hello and welcome to The Crunch with me, Shem Muikia. Today with me I have Alvaro Masitsa, CEO of Omnis Limited, a recently established IT company that deals with web-based and mobile-based applications. Alvaro, welcome.
Thank you, Shem.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well.
Right. So I want to kick this interview off by just having you tell our audience a little bit about what Omnis actually does.
Okay. Omnis is an IT company practically, which was founded officially early last year. So Omnis Limited, we specialize in doing web-based applications and mobile applications in various industries in Kenya, some of which are real estate, microfinance, and the medical industry.
Okay. The technology sector of Kenya is growing, so ideally we believe that the market should also be growing. I just want to find out from you, how does Omnis find its clients, or how do the clients find Omnis?
Initially, I think when you start off any business, normally you start off with word of mouth. Yeah? So when you find clients normally are through your networks, through people you know, and through people known by people you know. So initially, actually, the bulk of clients we have been through our networks. So we've marketed to people we know who have expanded for us those networks, and we've managed to get more clients. It's only now that we've seen we need to broaden that and start doing marketing to people who we don't know. So we've more or less started marketing campaigns so that we can get more clients. So mainly through the networks and also through marketing.
Okay, so I understand that you're a relatively new company, but compared to other companies, what do you believe that Omnis brings to the table?
Now, I think with technology, actually from my experience, there's been quite a lot of briefcase companies in Kenya who offer services and then disappear. So actually, even a majority of the clients we've gotten, they've contracted us with that fear that they'll give us a project and then we are going to disappear. So one of the things that we offer is that we are a legitimate company and we are here to stay. Second of all, I think we are more or less in a service industry. I think even as you realize with many of the things you consume day to day, be it internet, airtime, there's quite a number of times you need to get in touch, be it now with Safaricom or Zuku respectively, and you find that you need to more or less get first-hand information very quickly. So one of the other aspects that we are trying really to work on is that whole aspect of doing technology, but more or less offering a service to people, managing relationships. So in as much as we sell solutions, we also sell relationships in a way.
So do you structure your applications based on what the client requires, or do you guys have like applications and then you bring them to the client, like this system is going to manage your finances, this system is going to help you catalog the people coming in, or do the clients specify what kind of help that they require?
Actually, it's both. So initially, we actually have some products, say a microfinance solution. We also have a medical solution, which we have that we take out to other people. So we target, in this case, hospitals and circles, and more or less show them the benefits of our solutions. Then we also, there are times from our engagement with some companies, we realize that there's technology that can help them with certain aspects of their business. So we more or less come up with a concept, sell to them that concept, and then engage in developing the specific solution for them.
My last question is, Omnis is growing, and I'm sure the recognition of Omnis is growing. And one of the things people are always complaining about in Kenya is unemployment. So are you receiving like requests for jobs from app developers out there?
Yes, actually, there is one time we've actually placed an ad. We were looking for new developers, yeah. So we placed out an ad. We actually got quite a good response from people who are looking for both internship or employment.
So what does Omnis stand for?
Name Omnis, one of the founders, I think we're about 3-4 founders, yeah? So 3 who started off, then some joined us along the way. So the third founder is the one who came up with the name Omnis. Now Omnis is a Latin word which a close translation to it means fast. So we've aimed at being, the first in the different industries that we are in. First in microfinance, first in medical, first in mobile application development, first really and also unique in terms of we are offering we're offering quality solutions in the industry.
Okay, Alvaro, thank you very much for your time today. It's been quite eye-opening. Now we see that the market may be resistant a little bit, but people are starting to accept it. So thank you for your time, and thank you for what you're trying to do for this country of ours.
Mercedes C-Class. Move in class.
Embracing technology has proven capable of making work easier and improving overall functionality in organizations. Now, it might seem tough out there, but technology is an ever-growing industry and the possibilities are endless. Did you know that Shanghai is currently working on a 250-acre agricultural district in order to plant fruits and vegetables? Technology isn't all about machines, guys. What the tech? Anyway, this has been The Crunch with me, Shem Muikia. Thank you for tuning in. Real stories, real observations. Welcome to another episode of The Crunch. My name is Shem Muikia. Today we're going to be taking a look at the film distribution industry in Kenya and the shortcomings that it may have.
Hollywood and Nollywood content is flooding the local market, and Kenyan filmmakers are having a hard time competing. Where can we get local content? That is the question Kenyans are struggling to answer. Because of the Kenyan Film Commission shortcomings, when it comes to distributing content, film distribution in Kenya has been left up to the individual filmmaker, which can be extremely difficult. Hollywood movies premiere on the big screen and later on go to be sold on DVDs, while Kenyan movies rarely make it to the big screens that are available here.
The last Kenyan movie I watched was Nairobi Half-Life, the DVD. It was a pirated one.
Other than the lack of support for local content, piracy has become our main source of content distribution. While it is easy to say that Kenyans are more drawn to foreign films, most of us have no idea where to buy Kenyan DVDs.
Hello and welcome to The Crunch with me, Shem Muikia. Today I have with me Jenny Muigai, local screenwriter and director. Welcome, Jenny.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
So I'm just gonna jump right into the tough questions with this interview because
Uh-huh.
that's how we do it here on the Crunch.
Get right to it.
So you have worked on a couple of things.
Mhm.
You have directed some short films. You
Uh-huh.
have produced some things on the side, and
Mhm.
you've also written some short films.
Yes.
So as a local filmmaker, what are some of the challenges that you have faced when it comes to getting your stuff to be seen?
First and foremost, distribution is non-existent in this country in terms of avenues, not just corporations like actual distribution outlets. Yeah, like Nakumat or say back in the day there used to be I think it used to be called New Media or Planet Media or New Metro
Planet Media,
or something like
one
that.
of those.
Yeah, so at least you could a store like that where you can get content of any kind, say music, videos. Those things don't exist, and the little avenues that you had, say Nakumat used to have this bin where you can get movies for like 100 bob, but that doesn't exist anymore. So now the only thing that has some sort of distribution channel is music, right? Unlike film where there's no one place that you can go to get, say, a Kenyan film. And so most filmmakers rely on self-printing, self-selling, and also, like putting it out on the internet.
YouTube.
That being the only place that you can view it. And that diminishes the return on investment from what you've put in for making the film. So that's the biggest issue.
So, where like you put it, let's say on Vimeo or stuff like that. So you guys are no longer targeting the Kenyans. Is that so? Your market is no longer us as Kenyans.
No, that's not to say that the market is not specifically Kenyan. It's just that the market is now wider. Because if you think about it, in this day and age, I can't allow myself to think locally only. My market, my biggest competition, and the market that I want to play in, the market that inspires what it is that I'm making in terms of like the industry standard and so on, right, is not local. It's not just local, right? There, I have to look over to Uganda, Tanzania, Sudan, Nigeria, and more so to like the UK and the United States, because those are the biggest markets where you can get your stuff seen. So that has to play on my mind in terms of how and where I place my content to be seen. Yeah.
Speaking of Nigeria, Nigeria seems to be dominating the Kenyan market.
Yes.
Their music seems to be everything that's playing in the clubs. Their movies are airing on our local stations. Afro cinema is even a thing here now.
Yeah.
So what do you think they're doing that Kenyans are doing wrong?
One, we don't make as much content as they do in a given, say, year, right? So if they're putting out 400,000 films, in a year, and every single Nigerian, or if not the majority of Nigerians, and then by virtue of that, the rest of the continent, right, watches it, right? There will be more saturation of that content than, say, us who make 2 films in a year and then no one watches them because we don't put them in the cinema, we don't put them on TV, So aside from there being channels of distribution, we also have to constantly be producing our own and creating our own content, because that's the only way to get, like, flood the market, right? If there's no other content for any Kenyan to watch, what else are they going to watch? They're going to have to turn to us, right? So because there was no content that we could relate to that was remotely even African, right? The closest thing we got was Nigerian content, right? Because we're not seeing the things that we think are what we are on television, right? We're only seeing white, Black American, Hispanic, European, Asian, right? Indian, right? But there's no Kenyan, there's no African, there's no me, right? So the only place I can get that, right, in constant, right, consumptive quantity, right, is Nigeria, because they're putting it up constantly, right?
So, you're a screenwriter.
Yeah.
So, have you written anything for the big screen? Like, have you actually written a feature film, or have you only worked on short film?
I've only written to fruition short films. One, because they're easier to write. They're easier to it's easier to compress a story into 20 minutes as opposed to 90 to 2 hours. Right? Yeah. So I've only written short films.
Could you mention a few for us?
Now
So
That You're Here was the
yes.
first film that I wrote.
Yeah.
That got pretty decent acclaim. Wrote it for 48-hour Film Festival, and it ended up winning Best Film Nairobi, and then that went on to do a couple of rounds in Hollywood. So, yeah.
Impressive.
Thank you.
So anything else?
I directed another short film, but in terms of writing, I've written for Changing Times back in the day. I wrote all the skits for Airtel Jam sessions, which you can get on YouTube. Yeah, stuff. Yeah, and then other stuff that you probably haven't seen, but yeah.
So basically, there seems to be a problem like on both ends here. The effort is not coming from us as Kenyans, because I feel like we are too used to piratation. Like people pirate so much stuff. Like even American stuff we don't watch.
Yeah.
So I think there's a problem on both ends. Yeah, there's a problem with the Kenya Film Commission, because I have no idea what those guys are doing with distribution. There's also a problem with us as the audience, because I think we're also not looking for stuff. So, check out YouTube, check out Vimeo.
Look for like, if you go online, because a lot of people have turned to, the online platform as the only place where they can show their stuff, and you can rent films, buy films also online, Kenyan films. So those are small things to get over now.
So last question, and in terms of funding, where does the funding for these films come from? Do you guys have to do it yourself? Do you ever get sponsors? Are there people who want to give money to short filmmakers out there trying to make stuff?
There's always someone looking to give money, and the only problem is a lot of filmmakers don't know how to properly go and look for money and find that kind of funding, because it's not just the fact that you have an idea, it's also the budget for it. Have you realistically budgeted for it? So by the time you're going to, there are a lot of NGOs online, by the way. If you just, funny enough, Google funding for African filmmakers, you will get a list. Yeah, you will get a list of grants and funders that are looking for African filmmakers and African stories. But most guys do create and produce their stuff out of pocket, completely out of pocket.
Thank you very much for joining us, Jenny. It's been a pleasure having you here.
A culinary delight to the senses. With world-class food and service, it will feel like you never left home if home was a 7-star hotel. Boasting world-class amenities from boardrooms for your executive meetings and conferences, with the ability to hold 300 people for your wedding reception. Make that special moment even more special by having everyone close to you share in it. We welcome you to join us, be with us, and let us help you make your special moments memorable. The 3 Olives.
This has been another episode of The Crunch with me, Shem Muikia. I hope you go out there and look for a bunch of Kenyan things to watch. Support your country. Check out YouTube, check out Vimeo. Ask your local DVD guy, he might have an idea. Tune in next week, same time, same place. Hope you have a good day. Real stories, real observations. This is another episode of The Crunch with me, your host, Shem Muikia. Today we take a look at the world of business and how Kenyans have a copycat trend where everybody does the same thing. Hello and welcome to The Crunch. My name is Shem Muikia, and today with me I have Thomo Nyanjom, a young entrepreneur who owns his own company that deals with consultancy. Thomo, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Shem. How are you?
Right, so we're just gonna jump right into this, and first things first, could you tell us a little bit about this consultancy business? Tell us, what is consultancy?
Consultancy in a nutshell is just giving advice on matters specific to a user's needs. So what we do, our company is called Sovereign and Green.
Yes.
We're 2 years old. It could be considered a startup, technically, but yeah. So we advise people who are interested in starting businesses or already established companies on growth strategy, risk management, financial asset and wealth management, and generally innovation and technology.
Okay, considering the fact that you're dealing in consultancy with businesses, and today's episode of The Crunch was about how Kenyans have a tendency to copy each other's businesses. So what's your opinion, what's your take on that, considering that people come to you for advice?
Funny thing is, we often use, because of the whole copying scenario, we often tend to use work we've done before and just paste it forward, because you could tell someone there's already someone who's doing this and what's your edge over them, and they don't care what their edge is over the other person, they just care about, we want to be advised on something issue. But generally it's sad, because what it does, it kills competition, because when you're in a situation whereby all of us are doing the same thing, the one with the most money wins, because the one with the most money will advertise, the one with the most money will take initiative, and everyone else will just be left struggling for every little they can grasp. They'll be hustling, as it's called nowadays. But the whole point of copying comes from, I guess, the adage of why reinvent the wheel. If something already works, do it. Well, this can be seen by even like when you're heading here. Years ago there used to be one car wash. Now there's 7 car washes, all on the same place.
Yeah, Kenyans have a tendency
So
to do that.
the guy didn't even go another geographical location, right next to his neighbor. Then what happened? A guy opened an M-Pesa. On the other side, a guy opened another M-Pesa. So, cause this guy saying this is working and this is working. Like they didn't want. What if all of them just came together? You do the car wash, I'll do the M-Pesa. I will sell snacks. We could expand. We could make this a football place. You with a butchery, come. Let's do meat. Guys for football. When they're watching their matches, they can have meat. Guys on their way home, they can stop by and buy. You know, like make it a collaborative business by pooling together resources. Something Indians in Kenya and Jews all over the world do very well.
Even Diamond Plaza, for example.
That's very true. You pool your resources and you grow as one to a bigger thing. But now when we all saturate, we flood the market, it's so saturated, then all of us are just making very little, very little, very little. It's not even enough to sustain you and the whole of your family. It would be much easier if we just all come together and do one thing that expands the whole business spectrum. But it's very, we've tried severally to tell the guys to do the same thing, but I guess
People see what's working and they think
Yeah.
that's the best thing.
yeah, there's no risk factor in it, cause why would I do that? Yeah, natengeneza shilingi 10, natengeneza shilingi 2,000, mbona hiyo yako ni uongo, you know, things like that. So, and in the long run, it's how long will it be sustainable? You need, cause imagine, again, if I reiterate, if I go back to Indians, they start one company and the children take over this company, takes over this company, and okay, these guys, you're 5 guys, right? All of you have kids. If you became one company, all of these kids would have taken up different aspects of the company. You know, different shares, different, like it would have grown like any other business company. But now what happens is, you're 5 kids, right? One Indian guy, 5 guys. You all go to the same school. You all finish at the same time. Only difference is, when you're busy playing in the neighborhood on the weekends, or you told Endo Some, Nataka Upite, the Indian guys at the office, as the shop with the dad, they're selling spare parts. Let's even assume they're selling spare parts. They're selling spare parts. 2-3 years down the line, this guy knows, hey, by the way, spare parts go like this, like this, like this. Then his dad instills in him that if you want something, you have to work in the shop, we'll give it to you. So what happens now is, years down the line, you guys are finished. Let's even assume you went to the same secondary school, the same university. When you finish university, you're looking for a job. This guy doesn't need to look for a job. He has ideas, he's grown with the times, his dad is still at a certain place. He comes and tells his dad, yo, let's introduce computers and give these things. Even QR code readers. Now they all have serial numbers.
But don't you think that's a type of nepotism that's going on there? Like, isn't that a bit nepotic? The fact that they're breeding, they're keeping the business entirely in the family, yet there are people out there who, I don't know, don't have jobs. Maybe this kid doesn't even want to do the family business.
Well, yeah. Well, nepotism is, the job was being vied for by other individuals and you went out of your way to ensure that someone in your family got it. Well, in this case, it's strictly a matter of my kid who has been doing this business
is running. So when you're coming, let's even assume you have 5 years experience. I've been doing it since primary. I beat you on experience. I beat you on knowing what customers want. So from that onset, the guy has an advantage. You see. So even when this guy already is looking for a job, this guy has a job. By the time this guy is not finding a job and goes for masters, this guy has 3 years experience running the job. Then by the time you actually get your masters and you meet somewhere, you come back and work for this guy. So it's not really nepotism. Favorism, yes, but not nepotism.
So I actually intentionally neglected to say the name of your company when we began the interview because I know that there's something special behind it. So could you tell us what Sovereign and Green actually, where it came from?
Sovereign and Green was a concept born or conceived in Ethiopia at the time. Three friends and I went for a trip to find ourselves. And while we were there, we noticed there's large business opportunities, but it's very hard for foreigners to start companies in Ethiopia. Well, it's much harder than it is in Kenya. I think things are just generally easier. So we were with a friend of ours. We met a guy there, it's called Jonathan. So when we were there, there's a lot of trash in the city, outside the city. I mean, and because there's no glass, but there's so much plastic. And it's a recycling opportunity. Currently, biggest business happening in the world, recycling of waste material, be it aluminum, plastics, you have it. But we were to start a company with him then. Okay, since then, I mean, communication, distance, passion, lots of things changed. So when we were starting the company, we didn't have much. We had, well, honestly, I think I had $1 in my pocket. Literally, I had $1, which is like 15 Ethiopian birr. Yeah, 15 or 19 now, I'm not sure. But yeah, then at that point, we were just by ourselves. The guys I always were not where I was with them. I think Philip wanted to be a pilot. Michael wanted to get into the family business. Antonio wanted to start this thing. So the sovereign part came from, I was very independent. I had no help from anyone, so it was a sovereignty of self when it was being conceived. And the green part was, again, pay homage to the environment and generally the recycling thing. And there's nothing, since the world is going green, without green. So it was, at that point when the name came back, it was Sovereign and Green.
Thomo, I would like to thank you so much for joining us here on The Crunch. Sovereign and Green, in case you're looking for any advice with your business, starting anything. Thomo, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Looking for a great new way to brighten your day? Well, look no further than Buzz Instant Coffee. With the perfect blend of taste and aroma, kick off your morning with a cup of Buzz. Instant coffee to get that buzz going. A good day starts with coffee. A good day starts with a buzz.
That was another episode of The Crunch. I hope you have been listening. I hope you have seen that there are places you can look for help. There's consultancy businesses in case you're trying to start a business or have any questions about your business. But I hope you've also learned that it's good to be unique. Look around your environment and look for what the world needs. My name is Shem Muikia. This has been The Crunch.
It's election year again, and already Kenyans fear for what is to come. There are various problems that could arise as we draw closer to the general elections, and pollution is one of them. The nomination period alone has already left the streets littered with posters, and that's not the only problem. Noise pollution is also an effect of these campaigns. It is important to keep our environment clean and our country calm come the final quarter of this year. It is our duty to ensure that things do not get out of hand. Reporting for The Crunch, my name is Ella Moemi.
You have been watching The Crunch with me, your host, Shem Muikia. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you are interested in finding out anything Crunch related, please do subscribe to Venture Wolf Productions on YouTube and follow The Crunch on Twitter.